When it comes to addiction, or when it comes to understanding our behaviors, the easiest way to do so is to understand your own experience, or at least try to understand someone else's experience. And that's what I'm going to discuss in this video, is my addiction to pornography, my addiction to cannabis, or should I say my past addictions, and my addiction to cocaine. And I don't really even like using that term addiction, because addiction would imply that you are addicted to something. And it might seem like that's the case at the time, but ultimately you are always free. Like you don't have to be bound to that said vice. It's psychological. And the more that we continue to say I'm an addict, like they do in 12-step programs. When I was there once, when I went to one, I couldn't even say the word. Well, I mean, I did, because I felt a bit like I was going to be the odd one out. But yeah, it's something that I saw as, the more that I continue to say and claim myself to be an addict, the more that I will be, and I'm not. So that's how we transcend it, is by saying that I'm not an addict. Obviously, yeah, you've got to be open about it. You've got to say, yeah, I've got a problem, like I've got some kind of problem. But I think the problem is that you say that you have a problem, or you say that you have an addiction. That's the problem. If we begin to control, speak to ourselves in a way where we say, there's no problem. Yes, I know there's a habit, there's a behavior that I do. That's not a problem. I've already overcome it. Then you will overcome it. So yeah, when I was 12 years of age, around the age of 12, I fell into being around a friend's house and was watching porn on a VHS tape. And that's where I really first got introduced to that kind of stimulus or visual content, before just coming into puberty. And it didn't really take a grip as it did as I got older. I think as you get older, you begin to be more inclined to be more sexually active and be more intrigued in about, how your body's feeling and growing and stuff, and the hormonal changes in your body that occur, that start becoming stronger and stronger, your sexual urges and things like that. And when it comes to porn, it became easily accessible through smartphones. Like the iPhone was introduced, and before that it was like Blackberries. I think I had a Blackberry. A lot of people had Blackberry, and it was like these images going around, GIFs or videos of people having sex and things, or just sexual imagery anyway in general. And that kind of becomes a normal thing, and then you think, well, okay, then I've got a smartphone now, or you've got a device or a laptop, and you can just open it up and watch porn on there and get your sexual needs on that. Like, and it began to isolate like me from even wanting to be connected with the opposite sex. And it was like it became a detriment to my mental well-being, because it drew me more inwards and into a hermit mode, where I was like, I just wanted to self-pleasure myself. And then eventually I fell into the habit of smoking weed in college, and that was, it was obviously a feel-good feeling in the beginning. It becomes stronger and stronger over time. Your tolerance builds, and before you know it, you're ripping bongs and pipes and things like that, and it's rolling massive spliffs, and then combining that with self-pleasure, and it's like watching porn whilst high. And you don't realize the spiral and the mental place it's putting you in, and you just keep going back and back and back to that because it's the only thing that makes you feel good. Before you know it, like, it's just become your normal life. And not many people are actually open and honest about this, but I think that's the way out. Like, just to be open and truthful about what it is that you're doing, or speak to someone else about it. And then cocaine. Like, cocaine eventually came when I was coming back from holiday. When I came back from holiday in 2016 from Cyprus. It was a great holiday, drank quite a lot, came back, Leicester had just won the league, and I got offered MDMA when I was smoking weed, and it felt great. Like, you know, the experience of feeling ecstasy basically is a good feeling. Like, I don't condone it, I don't glamorize it. I would suggest not doing it ever, or any substances in that matter. I'm not against anything, but I'm just saying, like, if that's your thing, then go ahead, do it. It's like, that was me at the time. This is me now. You know, but I don't want anyone to go down the path that I went down, because it could be the end of you. So yeah, then that was that. Coke came into my life. Got myself into a lot of financial debt, paying £200 back a week out my wage to a guy that used to front me every week, like tick me every week. You know, left me with nothing pretty much, like living at my mum's, like buy my own food, basically nothing left. Still trying to go out, still trying to have fun and things on the weekend. Got myself payday loans because I had a full-time job. I could pay them back, like, you know, but it still made things difficult financially for me, and it just built up and got worse and worse over the time. Even years down the line, like I like literally last year, I'd get a loan. I'd get a loan out, like, and just buy drugs online and wait for them to come in the post and use high amounts, like 10 grams, 17 gram was the last amount I used, whilst engaged in porn, whilst engaged in masturbation, whilst engaged in sniffing at the same time, and, you know, smoking cigarettes, like eating like shit for like weeks on end, not going to work, not turning up, and you know, fulfilling my responsibility for my job, and being responsible for you know, my workplace. So it's not just like the impact it has on our physical and mental well-being, it's also the impact it has on society as a whole, from not, you know, helping society run smoothly by turning up for work. And although I don't intend to work forever, I want to go my own way and kind of build my own thing, which is what I think sobriety does. It gives you a reason to live, and a sense of purpose. Sorry, I just got to have a swig of this water, dry mouth. So yeah, that was you know, the financial detriment it was getting myself into. And I think that, you know, the situations that I got myself into when it comes to like driving whilst using, and, you know, high amounts, and watching porn in my car and things like that. Some of the stories that I have, I could go into depth about many of them, but I'll say one in particular. You know, I was driving around in my car using, and substances like that tend to give you next level paranoia. You know, here's me, like, in my car, doors locked, on a country lane, 3 or 4 bottles of lube, tissues, wipes, phone where it is now. Oh man, paranoid, thinking that drones are watching me, helicopters are flying over, police are coming, cars were coming back, some cars would come by, sometimes they would stop, and then I'm like, shit, that's it, I'm done, I'm arrested, they're gonna find me. But then they would just go by, like, and I'd think people are watching me, like paranoid, thinking that they're recording me and things. But I'd still go. I'd still be engaged. Like, you'll get to a point where you're like, you'll get out your car, you'll be so sure that no one's watching you, then you'll get back in, and before you know it, you're like it's, if anyone relates, you relate. Like, you know the feeling. It's not fun at all. It might feel good, like doing what you do, but like it's just causing you so much mental destruction, so much paranoia, so much chaos in your own mind that you could probably have a heart attack. I'm not gonna lie. Like, sometimes, like, I think that the amounts that I've used, I shouldn't be here. I should be dead. Like, over the years, I feel like I've got heart problems. Never got checked out. I've always just gone more towards the holistic way, and you know, exercising, looking after my health, eating right, etc. So yeah, the way out of it, really, for me, like, you know, is the turning point is to not be so reclusive, to be open and be honest about your problem. It's like, once I began to tell people, my grandmother was the first person I told, and she got me help and support, tried to support me. She, you know, did her best to help me overcome it. So my father was an addict to alcohol, so, you know, she didn't want to see me go down the same path. And then I told my employer, like, eventually, after so many years of never telling him but still holding down the same job, it became the realization became that I need to be open up and honest about it, about why I'm having all this time off work and stuff, and not turning up. And, you know, when I could have easily went, like, if I didn't use, but I'm using. And I for years I just didn't tell him. I said, I'm ill, I'm not coming in. Like, you know, days go by and he's like, are you still ill? And I'm like, yeah. Like, but I just didn't open up and tell him. And eventually I said, right, Raj, like, I need to tell you something. Like, and everything came out about all the financial debt that I was in, and he helped me out of it. He supported me out of it, financially helped me out of it, mentally helped me out of it. Someone that that listened to me, someone that seemed to not judge me. And even still to this day, he says, are you okay? You know, I'm always here to listen and support you. And if you're going through anything or you feel like you want to go back, then speak. Which is great to have. Like, and if you're out there and you're struggling, then I'm the same. Like, for you, if you need to speak to me and I have someone to listen to what you're going through, because you feel like you've got no one else, then reach out to me, comment below. I'll even start putting an email that you can directly contact me with, or even my socials into this channel for you to reach out, and we can come to a more deeper understanding about how we can get you out of your dark mental rut, basically your psychological hell that you're going through. I think that's probably the best time to describe it, psychological hell. Not in a biblical sense, like, just in a more psychological sense, like. So yeah, that was really the turning point for me. It was like, you know, begin to speak up more and be open about it. I actually did have an old YouTube channel where I spoke about it, and I had a few videos of me after relapsing, actually, like that. I kind of wish I kept, but, you know, I got to a point where I just deleted that YouTube channel, and you know, I've been very observant about the path that I want to go down, and here I am back here, and I want to take it more down the understanding and become more aware of why it is that we do the things that we do, why it is that I do the things that I do, and the behaviors and the habits that we have, and how we can begin to track and navigate our life in a better way. So yeah, that's really what matters the most, is awareness, or becoming more conscious of our choices, and when our trigger point is about to occur, can we become so aware of it that we don't allow the trigger to occur in the first place, to allow the loop to carry on running? Because that's all we're doing basically, is chasing the same loop again and again. We're not actually chasing the vice or the substance. It's the same feel-good feelings that we get from the anticipation of the vice and of the behavior and of the habit and of the feel-good feeling, up until when we don't feel good, then we chase the cycle again. So it's not just about quitting, it's about understanding the process. And that's what I hope this channel can be about. And if anyone's got any insights or understanding themselves that they know, that they feel like they want to share, then please do. I'm always open to listening and understanding things from a different perspective. It's not about saying that this is only a one-way system, because everyone has their own ways. Like I say about 12-step meetings, a lot of those work for people. Like when I went there, I saw people in there that were clean for years, so they must work in some way, shape or form. But yeah, I think I'll leave it at that, to be honest. I've actually attempted to make this video twice. Both attempts were over 20 minutes long, if not like 25 minutes long, a bit more longer format. But I think I'll keep this short and concise for a first introduction to who I am and where it is I've been. My name is Lewis, as you can see. Just looking to be more aware and understand myself and others a lot more, so we can all live in a more civilized and blissful, joyful, peaceful way of existing in this reality and beyond. I don't want to take it too philosophical there, but I'll leave it at that, and have a blessed day wherever you are watching from. Much love. Peace.